Hi everyone, Hayden from Little Green Alien. I'm sure that a lot of you have seen this custom Woody before that I made. A little while ago, I made him a custom voice box. It's got a pull string, it's got Tom Hanks phrases.
I'd like to join your posse, boys, but first I'm going to sing a little song.
And something else that's really cool about it. I know it looks really weird, me pulling a voice box out of his ass, but here you go. What's cool about it is that it fits, and I use just a regular Thinkway voice box to make these things.
Somebody's poisoned the water hole.
So it fits nice and perfect if you're making a custom Woody out of a Thinkway body. This works perfectly for collection Woody, playtime Woody. It doesn't really work with Disney Store Woody, so if you're doing custom Disney Store Woody and you want to use this method, you might be SOL, but yeah, it does work with Thinkway Woodies though, so if you're making a custom with a Thinkway Woody, it should work. So anyways, in this video today, I'm going to teach you how to make one of these. So the first thing you're going to need, now this is necessary, this is really the only way you can make it with one of these, is you're going to need the Toy Story 4 pull string Woody. You're going to need the one with the boots and the one with the pull string.
Giddy up, partner. We got to get this wagon train a-moving.
I know you're probably asking, why do the boots matter? They don't, but the one that it won't work with has plush boots and a push button voice box. So you want to get the one with the pull string. And believe me, I've tried this method with collection voice boxes and playtime voice boxes. It doesn't work. You have to use the Toy Story 4 Woody. It's the only one that's specifically shaped like this, and it's the only one that works. So you must use the Toy Story 4 Woody. I can't stress it enough. Next thing you're going to need the multiplay sound chip by Invite by Voice, and you're going to need the files for Woody's phrases or whatever you want to put on here. Maybe you're not even making this for Woody. I don't even know. But I am. The next thing you're going to need is a lanyard of some sort like this. For this project, I will be using a lighter leash. I personally recommend the lighter leashes because they have the white string just like in the movie. So I think that this does a pretty good job at replicating the string that we see in the movie.
There's a snake in my boot.
So, yeah, just a lanyard. I would recommend the lighter leash. If I can find a link to these, I will put them in the description. I'll try to put a link to everything in the description. But I can't promise anything because, you know, some of the stuff you just can't find online. And some of the stuff, you know, they're just basic household items too. Like scissors, you might need these. These, honestly, I'm not sure if you exactly need these, but you might need them. They might be helpful. I mean, you know, sometimes it's just, instead of pulling the string, you know, or like taking the voice box out and untying the knot, sometimes it's just easier to just cut the string. But, you know, I'm not going to cut the one on this one because
Ride him, cowboy!
got to keep him in my collection. That is my personal Toy Story 4 Woody. So you might need scissors, but that's a might. You definitely will need a knife, though. I recommend a pocket knife like this. These are the ones I've had the most success in doing this with. You're also going to need some sandpaper. You definitely want a low grit. If you want to smooth it out, you could get a higher grit, but you definitely need a low one. The thing is, though, like, the part that you sand is on the inside, so you don't necessarily need to smooth it out. I mean, just everything's just going to go over it anyways, so it's not really necessary to smooth it out. Of course, to get inside the voice box, you're going to need some screwdrivers. You are going to need some rings as well. I mean, you could use these small ones that I have. You could just use the one that came with the voice box, but personally, I recommend getting the small ones. They look more like the movie. I mean, here's a side-by-side comparison, so I mean, I just think that these ones are more accurate. And of course, we've got 2 more things. You need a soldering iron and you will need a lighter. So that's everything you're going to need for the project. Now, I'm going to say it, if you're, a young age, probably, I'd say under the age of 16 or something like that, you probably shouldn't attempt this project. This is a very hard project. I was like 16 or 17 when I originally did this. So, I mean, like, it's not easy. It's not the hardest thing in the world. You can accomplish it, but it's hard. And it's definitely something I don't want young kids doing because you can get really hurt doing this. These things, if you touch this, ow, no, I'm just kidding. It's not even on, but I mean, if you touch this part right here when it's plugged in, it's gonna hurt. So, if you're young, if you don't know how to solder, please don't do this, or please get somebody else to help you. Just please don't get hurt in doing this. I don't want to be responsible for you guys getting hurt because I love all of you. And, I also love it when you guys are not hurt. So please stay safe in doing this project. Anyone attempting this, I wish you the best of luck. And let me know how it went in the comments. All right, let's get right into it. All right, here we go. This is step 1 to making the custom voice box. So what you have to do is you get the voice box out of Toy Story 4 Woody, and then you take out the batteries if there are any in here, but you also have to remove this. So there's no batteries in mine, but if yours has batteries, take them out. And then what you have to do is you got to unscrew these screws. All right, so once you unscrew those 4 screws, keep them in a safe place. Make sure that you do not lose them because you will need them again. So make sure you remember where you put them. So then what you do is you open this up and you see everything on the inside. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you are going to want to unscrew these screws. And you will want to keep this piece because we will actually be using this speaker instead of the one that comes with the multiplay sound chip. If you see here, the one that comes with the multiplay sound chip is too big. This speaker's way too big, and it's just not going to fit in here. So you need to use this one. So you need to keep track of the speaker. And then you just take it off. You don't need those wires. Usually when I do it, I just use these wires because it's harder to solder something to the board than it is to just solder these wires to the speaker. So just take the wires off. You're not breaking it. The speaker will still work once you solder it. And then you know what you do? You take all of this shit out of here. You don't need any of this. So you unscrew every screw and everything comes out. And by everything, I literally mean everything. The only thing you're going to be using from this is the original speaker. And those screws, you can just, you can keep them, use them as extra screws. I don't know, whatever the hell you want to do with them, I guess. But, so yeah, you just take everything out. So like this. All right. Now I'm going to keep these screws just in case I ever need them. But yeah, here is the inside of Woody's voice box. Yeah, we don't need that shit anymore. All right, so once you're done with that, another tip of advice to make sure that you don't lose this. This little metal piece right here is very easy to take out, and you do not want to lose it. So be really careful and make sure that you do not lose that metal piece because you need it so that you can screw this on. So then what you do is you see these. The board is not going to fit with these in it. So you need the knife and you're going to need the sandpaper. And what you're going to have to do is I'll start get the knife and very carefully just start cutting these pieces. It is very tedious and it takes a very long time, but believe me, for a custom Woody voice box with Tom Hanks' voice, it's worth it. Or really, any pull string voice box you want, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a Woody voice box. I mean, you could just be somebody restoring an old classic pull string toy or something like that. So you never know what the people are using these for. Honestly, it would be pretty cool to see if somebody else did do this with something other than Woody and use my method. I mean, if I were to ever make another pull string toy or something like that, I'd probably either do the pill bottle method, which I did a very long time ago, a video on that. I'll link it in the description if you'd like to see my video on the pill bottle method. That's kind of an older method. This is the method I'm going with from now on. But I'd probably either do that or I would do this. So, yeah, anyways, I know you guys don't want to watch me just sit here and cut this. So, the video, I will put it in fast motion now. So, it just goes by faster. So, see you guys soon. All right, well, finally, that's done. That is probably the most tedious part of the project. I don't really like that part. It's hard, but you can get through it if you really want a movie accurate Woody voice box. But anyways, the next step is, or I guess you could do this first if you wanted to, is to get the voice box, plug it into the computer, and then you need to get your Woody phrases. I'll see if I can put a link to download these in the description. I'll really try. I hope it works out. But anyways, what you do is then you plug it into charge, and then you turn it on. It will appear right there. There is like 3 files that come on it. I already deleted them, so just delete any files that are already pre-installed, and then just drag over your voice box phrases to the voice box like this. Alright, I'm just gonna drag them all over and then I'll show you the outcome. And after all that's said and done,
I'd like to join your posse, boys, but first I'm gonna sing a little song. Reach for the sky. This town ain't big enough for the two of us. Somebody poisoned the water hole. There's a snake in my boot. You're my favorite deputy. Hee-haw! Get up, partner! We got to get this wagon train moving.
and there you go. That's how you put the phrases on Woody's voice box. Alright, now we move on to the soldering part, and I don't really like soldering that much. It's pretty hard for me to do, but we're gonna do it because it's worth it. So you take everything off of the board carefully. Make sure not to break anything. Especially the board. The board is not easy to get off, and I mean, it's pretty fragile, so you just have to be careful in doing this. Alright, take everything off. Alright, and then we don't need that anymore. Yeah, alright, so here is everything, and then what you want to do is you want to disconnect the speaker. And then you want to get the wires, and these actually look like they've already been pretty, they look like they'd work, but I like to just have a little bit more exposed just so it's easier. So you take the lighter and just burn the wire a little bit. It'll just be easier to connect it that way. And then gotta be really careful in doing that, because you could easily burn yourself. So then you get the speaker, and then you get your soldering iron. If I can get it out. Alright, yeah, you get your soldering iron, then you get your speaker, and then you get the two wires. Alright, focus. Alright, there we go. I want you to see good representation of how to do this. So I hope my camera stays focused. Then this point needs a little more solder, I think. Alright. Don't want to burn yourself doing this too. Oh, actually another good idea before you start is you want to twist the wires. I know I'm not really the greatest at soldering, but at least I remembered to do that. Twist the wires. Alright. Then just see, let me get a little bit of solder on there. Then yeah, sometimes my soldering iron sticks to the speaker, so be careful for that. There we go, they're one point connected. And then the other harder when one of them's connected because, it'll stay connected. But it can be done. I don't want to burn myself. Alright. Just get that there. Alright. Then let's see if that works. There you go. So now you have the smaller speaker and it's gonna fit. So now all we have to do is put the voice chip inside of the voice box, and then we have to put the lanyard in there too, which isn't hard. So what you do is you start by, you peel off the sticker and you place the button right under the hole. So right there. And then see, you sanded everything down so the button can stay there. And you sanded everything down so that you can fit the lanyard in here. And that's why you had to take these pieces off right here so that the lanyard could fit. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I took enough of this piece off. So before we continue, I'm gonna just, because you have to like cut these down so that the soundboard can fit in. But I don't think I cut this one down enough, so I'll be right back. So I cut this down a little bit. I feel like it worked out pretty well, so I'm happy with how that went. So then what you want to do is you want to cut this thing off of the lanyard. And then what you want to do is you want to tie a knot at the end of the string. Now you don't want to tie it too tight, or like not too tight, too big, and you don't want to tie it too small, because you want it to still be able to go through the lanyard, but you want it to also push the button. So pretty much what happens is you put the string through here, this hole that's on the voice box, the previous string went through, and then you tie the ring to it. I would recommend super gluing the knot, but since this knot is going to be untied in the future to be put inside a Woody doll, I'm just going to leave it like as a tight knot. I'm not going to glue mine, but if you're going to put it into a Woody doll, then, or any pull string toy, really, I keep saying it like it's a tutorial specifically for Woody dolls, but I mean, you really could do it for any pull string toy. So yeah, then you tie the knot. There should be tight enough to at least to hold until you're
my favorite deputy.
I always like to make sure that the solder didn't come undone. All right, so then you can put that, and then you put it right about here, or somewhere comfortable where it can sit. And then you get a hot glue gun, which this is another thing I may have forgot to mention in the beginning. So if I did, I'll just put subtitles in the beginning. So if you're wondering why some of the things were just subtitles, it was because I just forgot to say it, because honestly, it's been a while since I've done this. So some of this is from memory. Some of this I had to look at photos of when I did this before to remember how to do this. So yes, I don't remember completely how to do this off the top of my head, but if I ever want to do it again and I forget, I'll have this tutorial. So, and all of you will have the tutorial too. So, just hold it in place for a little bit until it dries, and yeah, I'll be back once this is dry. Alright, so now this is dry, and then whenever you pull the string,
Somebody
talks. So then the next thing you want to do is we just want to put the voice box back together. So get the speaker. And then this is like an optional step, or I think. I mean, I always do it. I would definitely recommend doing it just because I think it makes it stay in better. But I take this thing that the Thinkway speaker came with, and this kind of was like there to help hold the speaker in place, I guess. I mean, I guess Thinkway thought it was necessary to put it there, so I don't really see why not. So I just put it there. And then you get the screws and screw it back in. And then you put the soundboard here. And then put the battery here. One thing I do recommend, there's this volume thing right here. Like,
There's a snake in my...
I definitely recommend turning it up the whole way.
You're my favorite deputy.
Because, you know, this isn't really, the Thinkway speaker is not really super loud speaker, or at least when connected to this board. These files, I don't really know what it is, but just something, it's not really super loud. Then you just, after that, just put the voice box together, and you just screw these pieces in. And then you get the next screw. Then I guess you don't necessarily have to do this, but I mean, I would. You get the battery cover and you screw it on, and then there you go. You have a movie accurate Tom Hanks voice box. Well, finally, all of our long, hard work is done. We have the custom Woody voice box. These things are awesome. Let me know, anyone who actually does this, in the comments, how it goes. Let me know if you're successful. Let me know what went wrong. Let me know what went right. I just want to know, you know, what kind of experience people had doing this project. Me personally, I think it's really hard to do these. This and the Buzz Lightyear laser project. I don't know if you probably saw this. The Buzz Lightyear with the real firing laser. I did this on the Disney Store Buzz. So for those of you who haven't seen this project, pretty much what happens is whenever you press the laser button, it shoots a real laser. The tutorial on how to do that is in the description as well if you'd like to check that out. So these two are my proudest achievements on the channel, but unfortunately, they were my hardest. So that's probably why they're my proudest, because, you know, they took the most work. But anyways, yeah, I'm really happy with the Woody voice box, and I'm happy that I got one right here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this works out for you guys who do this. And remember, please be careful, and please don't do this if you don't know how to solder. If you don't know, like if you're not good with knives, or you've never really had much experience with cutting, just please be careful, because this is a very dangerous project. And I do not want to see anyone get hurt, because it's just
nobody wants to get hurt. So if you're not really certain that you can do this, if you want to do it, at least please just get help from somebody. And also, if you guys have any questions for me, please ask down in the comments. I'll try to answer all of them to the best of my ability. But I hope whoever tries this, it works out. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Have a nice day.